Gadal Yitadash Merabah Yalma Divrach Virute Yamlich Mahute Katayechon Vyomecho Chayei Dechol Beit Yisrael Bagalav Bizman Kariv Yimru Amen Yehei Shemei Rabam Uvarach Leolam Leomeo Maya Yiparach V'yishtabach Yitpa'ar V'yitomam V'yitnaseh Yithadar V'yitaleh V'yitalal Shemei Kudusha B'richu Leila min kol berachata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, damiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, chayim malenu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom imramav, uyaseh shalom, alenu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Give me a second, folks, on Zoom. I'm just going to turn this around so I can face the kahal while I give a short Dvar Torah, and it'll be over in time for candlelighting, I promise you. So give me 1 second. Hello again. I'll take things they didn't teach you in rabbinic school for 100, Alex. Okay, I know my face is now very close up to you, but let's see if I can fix this. Thanks, Ron. Okay, better. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. A very short little piece of Torah. I can remember, or I have a memory of, one of the first times in my life that I was aware that it was significant that I think of and take care of someone or something other than myself. I may have, known that before, but I don't remember any moment before this one. It was when I was almost 3 years old. And we were living in Israel for the year. And on Pesach break from the Gan that I went to, the nursery school, our Gan's class had a guinea pig named Popey. And I was elected to be the one to take the guinea pig home and take care of it during the Pesach break, because it couldn't last a week, obviously, in school without anyone taking care of it. And we took Popey home for Pesach, and Popey did not survive Pesach. And the lore in the story is that I neglected to feed Popey. Now, that's not true, because any family that was relying on a 2 and 3/4-year-old to feed the animal needs to check its understanding of delegation. But the reason why that lore is part of the family is because in some significant way, even before age 3, I was aware of the fact that we had responsibility for this guinea pig. And we didn't do everything right. And as a result, we lost the guinea pig. Why do I share that story? Because we're not born and we're not living our first early years of life with any consideration of the other. Appropriately so. When you're an infant, when you're feeding from your mother or anyone who's giving you a bottle, no one else exists in the world. It's just you. It's your needs being met. It's satisfying the primal sense that you are not only something, you are everything. And the human being has to learn that you are not everything. You are something, but you're not everything. If you graft that onto the first 2 major stories of the Torah, we're in the second one right now. Last week we had creation. There are sub parts of that story, but essentially creation. Now we're on Parshat Noach. One of the ways reading the progression from Breshit to Noach is along that progression. One of the main realizations out of the chaos of creation, of Breshit, is that we are created in the image of God. Each one of us looks in the mirror and says, there's God in that. There's God in me. I am real. I have the divine spark in me.
And that's an important human realization. One of the main lessons that Noach learns out of the chaos of the second parsha, right? The chaos of the first parsha is the chaos of pre-creation, tohu and vohu. The chaos of the second parsha is the flood. One of the main things that Noach learns is not only is he created in the image of God, but so are the animals and the ones that he has to take care of, and all those who will perish as a result of the flood. And so in some way, our own individual development as a human being recapitulates the Torah's understanding of the development of all of humanity. That first we understood that we are in the image of God, and then we make the important leap to recognize that you and others are made in the image of God. What's interesting is that this notion of Tselem Elohim, being made in the image of God, is usually quoted in a selfless way. You have to have just laws and a compassionate society because everyone is made in the image of God. But the Torah's initial encapsulation of that idea was not that Adam realized that others were important, but that Adam realized that he was important. It took until the next parsha for us to recognize that others were important as well. And I think we're living through a particularly painful and challenging and ugly human moment where narcissism and narcissism reflected through religious life sometimes threatens to overpower nearly every other urge. It's as if, as a society, we're devolving in some places from Noach back to Breshit, from the recognition that others matter to that infantile understanding of, well, primarily, I matter. And as we move again this week from Breshit to Noach, it's important for us to remember and to act out and to model and to teach and to correct when required that the most important ones that you should recognize are created in the image of God are not the one that you see in the mirror, but the others whom you come into contact with on a regular basis. Because the Torah wanted that evolution from Breshit to Noach, and it's upon us to perpetuate it against the grain of the societal forces that we're witnessing today. And it's hard, but it's incumbent upon us. Shabbat Shalom. We're going to move into the Marif service. Those of you on Zoom, please feel comfortable to stay if you'd like to. I'm just going to turn this around again. Marif can be found in the Lev Shalem on page 39. Please rise to the Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Leolam Baheh. Baruch Atah L'Makom L'Shirah. Ma'avir Yom, maybe he Laila, Ma'avir Ben Yom Ben Laila, the night spot Shemo El Chai V'Kayam, Taminim Lo Chaleinu Leolam Ba'e Baruch Atah Adonai HaMavi V'Aravim Avat Olam Beit Yisrael. Em Chayenu V'Yorech Yameinu V'Hem Nageh Yomam B'Laila V'Vatecha Taser Mimenu Li'Olamim Baruch Atah Adonai Ohev Amo Yisrael, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Adonai Elohechem emet v'emunah kazot v'kayam aleinu kulanu. Malchuto b'ratzon kiblu aleihem Moshe v'neslachanu shira v'simcha rabba v'yamru kulam mi kamocha lahelim Adonai mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh nahora tehilo toseifer malchutecha ra'u b'necha bokei hayam lifnei Moshe ze Eli anu v'yamaru Adonai imlo leolam v'nemar ki b'Adonai Yaakov u'balom yad chazak mimenu baruch ata Adonai ga'al Yisrael shkivenu anu. U'b'tzach nafach asher Ufros aleinu, sukat shalom echa baruch ata Adonai, afores, sukat shalom aleinu, v'yal kol amo Yisrael, v'yal Yerushalayim, please rise. Eshameru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat Asot et HaShabbat Ledorotam beritot Beini u'bein b'nei Yisrael oti li'olam Ki sheishet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz u'bayom hashvi Shabbat vayinacha Yitgadal v'yitgadash Shemei Rabbah Madi Rachu Teva Miflachu Teva Chayachon B'Machon Ochel Chol Yisrael Hagalav Isman Karim Yimeru Amen Yehesh Verlom Vorach Le'olom El Maya Yibarach Yishtabach Yiparshman V'yitnaseh V'yitadar V'yitalev V'yitalav Shmei Krisha B'Richu Li'eh Lamikol B'Rachata V'Shirata V'Shvachata V'Nechamata Damiran V'Yalma Yimeru Amen. The Amidah is said in the whisper beginning on page 47 in the lecture. If you're still davening, please continue at your own pace. Continue page 53. ויכלו השמיים והארץ לחול זעם. ויכל הם יום השמתו אשר עשה וישבות ביום השני כל מלאכתו אשר עשה. ויברך להם את יום השביעי ויקדש אותו. כי בו שלו מכל מלאכתו אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות. ואתה אדוני אלוהינו אלוהי אבותינו אברהם ויצחק ויעקב אל הגדול הגיבור והנורא אל עליון קונה שמיים וארץ. מגן אבות תדברו וחיי מתים למאמרו אל הקדוש ואין כמוהו. המניח לעמו ביום שבת קודשו גם רצה להניח להם. לפניו נבוא ביראה ופחד ונודה לשמו בכל יום תמיד אין הברכות. אל הדעות אדוני נפלאות אל הדעות אדוני שלום מקדש השבת וברך צדיקים ומניח בקדושה לימד ושני עונג. זכר למעשה ראשית אלוהינו לאבותינו רוצה בנוחתנו קדשנו מצוותיך ותן חלקנו בתורתך צווינו מטובך ושמחנו בישועתך וטהר ליבנו עבדך באמת והנחילנו אלוהים גבר רצון תשובת קודשך ינוחו בך ישראל מקדשי שמך ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. יקרא לקדש מרבה, כמה דיברה כתיבה מכון, תבחי יכולה גבוה לכם כל שלום בזמן קריב ימרו אמן, יהי שמי רבה מלורה, לעולם לעולמי עולמיה, יברך ושלח לפרשו וסייב את הדבר זו וקדושה בריחו, ולנו כל בכתב ושורתה שתב לחוץ אדם רן ביומה וימרו אמן, יקבל סוטון ובטון דחו, ישבו קדם הוד ושמיה וימרו אמן, יהי שלום רב משמיה וחיים עליהם בקודש וימרו אמן. ועושה שלום ממרומיו, ויעשה שלום עלינו, יעמו ישראל ויאמרו amen. We'll pause for Kiddush. Put it here. Sari Baram Narabatai, Barokatal Makalam Bore, Priagafen, Barokatal Nalhin Makalam Ashir Krishna Meswatavar Savanu, Shabbat Kocho, Biava Ubatson in Filanu, Zikarole Mahase Reshi, Yom Techila, Mikrai Kodesh, Zecher Lesia Mitzrayim, Yanu Bacharta. Ketanu kidasha mikol ha'amim, v'shabat koshecha, v'yava u'bratzon himchalta. Baruch atah Adonai, v'kadesh ha'shabbat. Aleinu, page 56. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol latei kidula teotzeri lo asanu goyei aratzot v'lo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama shelo sam kolkeinu kahem v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam v'anachnu korim mishtachavim lifnei melech malchei hamakim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. הכתוב בתורתך למלך לעולם בעת ונאמר והיה אדוני המלך על כל הארץ היום Ushemo, Ushemo, Ushemo Echad. Kaddish Atom, Mornish Kaddish. Yitgadal, Yitgadash, Shemei Rabbah. Yalmad, Yirach, Yiruteh, V'yamlich Malchuteh. V'chayechon, Yomechon, V'yed Echol Beit Yisrael. Agala, B'zman Kariv, Yimru, Amen. Yehei Shemei Rabban Borach, V'yalam Yimel Mayad. Yibarach, V'yishtabach, V'yipa'ar, V'yitruman, V'yitnaseh. V'yitadar, V'yitaleh, V'yitalal, Shemei Kedusha, B'yitruman. Elah mikol birchata v'shirata, bishvachata v'nechamata, tamiran be'alma v'yimru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. V'aseh shalom v'rama, v'yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Shabbat shalom, everyone. The briefest of announcements. This is going to be the pattern for the time going forward that we're going to have outdoor services at Erev Shabbat for all who sign up. It will also be available on Zoom and live stream for those who are at home. And it's obviously going to get much earlier in 2 weeks because we changed the clock 1 week now, and it's even earlier compared to when we normally would do it because we're committed to at least completing Kabbalat Shabbat before candlelighting for the sake of those who are doing it via Zoom and would rather not be doing it using technology on Shabbat. So it will get to be a pretty early time. We hope that people will continue to come. And it really is wonderful to be davening with real people in a real space and to hear other voices. Tomorrow morning, Library Minyan is leading a service here on the field. Was it 9:15, Michael? 9:15. And for those who have signed up, and Rabbi Torny Schatz and I will be leading a service starting at 10 a.m. on the live stream Zoom. That's going to be an extended Sukkah de Zimra, extra time for singing and getting into the mode of Shabbat, and an extended Torah study that I'll be leading with a little bit of input from Rabbi Torny. And any other announcements, Jen? Should we leave Sidurim on the chairs? Or do we want to look? Okay. So please, I know it's counterintuitive, leave your Sidurim on the chairs so that we're not having people gather at the carols together. And the hardest part is to say Shabbat Shalom to each other and not linger and hug and catch up and kibitz, which is what we want to do and what we miss doing. But it's under those auspices that we're gathering. We're not gathering for gathering. We're gathering for praying. And it's delightful to pray with you. And I will serenade you out by singing Yigdal as you, family by family, kind of make your way out at Shabbat Shalom. And I miss you and I love you. Yigdal can be found on page, if you're following along, 62. Yigdal Elohim Hai Ve'ishtaba Ram Metziyuto Echad En Yachid Keyechudo Elam Megamin Sof Le'achduto Ein Lo Demutan Gufi Ein Lo Gufo Narochela Kedushato Kadmon L'chol Davar Asher Nivra Rishon Mein Reshit L'Reshito Ino Adon Olam Echol Notzar Yoreh Gedulato Umalchuto Shefa Nevuato Netano El Anshe Segulato V'Tifarto Lo Kami Yisrael Kemoshe Od Navi Umabid Et Emunato Torah Temet Natan Le'am Noel Ayad V'yod Leman Beito Lo Yachal Yifa'el Velo Yamir Dato Le'olamim Lezulato Sofev Yodea Titareinu Mabila Softavar Bekadmato Gomeli Shvesef Kemi Palo Noten L'Rashara Kirishato Yishlach L'Getz Yamim L'Shifeinu Liftod Mechakekei Yeshuato Metin Yechayel Baruch Pasto Baruch Adeyat Shem Dilato Metin Yechayel Baruch Pasto Baruch Adeyat Shem Tehilato. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you.
Shabbat Shalom.
Jennifer?
Yeah.
Oh, right there. Oh, right there. Yeah, I remember. This is on. That's why.
Kessel Plus.
Shalom, yeah.
They know.
Oh,
There you
there you go. I forgot.
He took me out for dinner.
We go back to Thanksgiving.
Side of the country. Oh, he's having Thanksgiving with you. I couldn't remember. I know. No, I remember. And Noah was there.
So I heard you're all going on a team again.
I just told Greg.
Yeah, we heard about that.
I just told Greg.
Noah's very serious.
I know. She's like, what's to happen?
Apparently she's in recruitment mode.
She really is.
Oh, was she the one who put it out?
Well, she heard about it and she's like, you should
Oh, so
you
she
should go
spread
do
the
it.
word.
You should go do
Gary
it.
just asked me for free.
Well, I thought,
Yeah.
it's some
payback.
sort of compensation for the time they had to leave.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah, it would be actually. All right,
Bye,
Shabbat
Rabbi.
Shabbat
shalom.
shalom.
See you on Zoom tomorrow.
Okay.
No, güey. ¿Y qué? ¿Cómo los agarraron y no los guardaron para allá? ¿Ah? Ya te olvidaste que hay que recoger los libros también, paja. I will be.
I'm ready to meet you in the field.
Yeah, meet here. Meet here, no. Juan. I am here. I am here.
Yeah, that one's still on.